Welcome to the first episode of the tutorial series on Deno. Here in this tutorial, we will just explain the basics of Deno, what is Deno, why people will be liking to use Deno, and what are its properties, features. First of all, we will explain what is Deno. So, it is a modern runtime for JavaScript and TypeScript. It is secure by default. It doesn't have access to files or networks or even environment access unless otherwise explicitly stated in the configuration while running the Deno programs. And the other important thing is it supports JavaScript and TypeScript out of the box. So people who likes dynamic language features, they can use JavaScript. Those who are fond of the classic type language, they can use TypeScript. And it only has a single executable, so everything is actually coming under one command. So that is pretty cool. And it also has a basic runtime, so the runtime has many features, functionalities that we can implement. A set of classes and methods that we can use. And so without further ado, let's get started. So first we can do is we have to install Deno. To install Deno, go to the deno.land in a browser and click on install. It will skip it to this section of the page. I've used in my case it is a Mac OS, so I've used this very line and copied this, and I ran this in the terminal. So I have already installed it, but I'll just do that again just to show you. In case of Windows users, I used this one in my Windows machine. This actually works fine. It has other options as well as like chocolatey and scoop, but yeah, this is fine. Make sure you open up the PowerShell and run this. So in our case, even if I have already installed, now it is actually installed, so we'll actually see the output like this. So after this, you should be, in my case it actually didn't ask me to add the Deno path to the executable. In that case, it will ask, and you will have to probably add the path to your bash RC or whatever RC you're actually using. So once you do that, you should be able to run the Deno command. So right now, just running the Deno will actually take you to the Deno REPL. REPL means read, evaluate, print loop. So 1 plus 2, because it's TypeScript. Yeah, we can do whatever. For example, we can just run this JavaScript code. Hello world. Right. So to exit from the REPL, we'll hit Control D. Okay, fine. So now that we have installed the Deno, let's just discuss about why you should be using the Deno. It is actually secured by default, as I said earlier, and it actually is created by the same guy who has created the Node.js. I forgot his name anyway. And it is built on top of V8, and it is secured by default, as I said earlier. It doesn't have package manager as such like npm in case of Node.js, and it has a different event loop implementation, even though there is not a real reason to use Deno, but yeah, just saying. So if we want to write a very basic example in Deno, what we have to do is we can do Deno run https deno.land std examples welcome.ts. Okay, let's just run. So as you can see, Deno actually has a lot of commands. So in order to see the Deno commands, I have to press Ctrl D. Okay, press Ctrl C. Okay, so Deno help. So Deno help will actually show the subcommands. It actually works like that. You can have the Deno, and suppose you want to see the details of bench command, you can use Deno help bench. Now it shows the details of the bench command, how the benchmarking is done. And we have run. So let's see what run is about. Deno help run. Now this explains what this command is about. Deno run. What are the various ways we can run a Deno program? We can use full URL, absolute URL. We can we can pass the parameters. What all permissions that we should be giving the program to execute the program. So this is how the command line actually works in Deno. So the simplest of Deno program actually is just this. So I'll just create a folder Deno, and I'll open this up in VS Code. Alright, so in case of VS Code, if we want to have autocomplete for Deno, you can search for Deno, and it will show up this one. So this is like the official one. It will be named from the publisher's name is Denoland. So you got to install that. After installing, you have to actually, while creating a project, you have to actually enable the Deno feature. So why that is you may be writing TypeScript in a normal TypeScript project, maybe in a Node project, in a front-end project, but you can write TypeScript in a Deno project. That means you don't always want to enable this feature. So after installing this with extension, you got to do what you got to do is, in case of Mac in VS Code, there is Command Shift P. That is to run. Yeah, I forgot where I should be actually. I can show it off from the menu item. Anyway, so Shift Command P. I think it is Control P or something. Not Control P. I think it is Control Shift P or maybe Alt Shift P in Windows. So initialize workspace configuration. So now enable Deno linting. So this project is going to support Deno. The Deno extension is going to get enabled for this project in the VS Code. So we use this is kind of a feature, enable the unstable APIs. Some of the features are only in unstable APIs. Maybe we can just do Deno. So Deno is now set up in this workspace. So if we are going to create, say, index.ts, now we are going to write another very simple program, a web server, website, API. It's not whatever it is. So we are going to write, I'll just write the code, https deno.land, then it is std/examples, there it is, examples server examples, then http examples, okay, examples http, wait a minute, examples, okay, http, std http then server, okay, that's right. that's correct. And we are going to import serve from here. So sorry, it's not server, it's serve. Okay, so and we are going to use the serve function, and we are going to write a handler here. So it's all TypeScript basically. It's not a new language, you don't have to learn a new language here. New response, so response is actually coming from the standard library. Hello world, then a /n for the new line. All good. So it has a quirk because we have enabled linting in VS Code for Deno. So linting actually comes with Deno. We don't have to install any new package for that. So what it is update? Okay, we don't have to. It will actually redirect to some kind of other random URL. Okay, yeah. Basically it says it's the same, but yeah. Anyway, nothing to worry. So we will just run this file, Deno run, and we'll provide, because we are in the same directory, ll. We have the same file here, so we can use Deno run index.ts. So it will just run this file. Alright, so okay, so this program is actually going to use network. Okay, so it is asking, as I discussed earlier, Deno is actually secured by default. It doesn't really provide any access to the files, network, or resources like any permission to run any OS commands or any access to environment files. So basically the internet access is actually disabled by default. So here it will ask, because this program is actually accessing the network, it is actually asking us whether we should allow this or not. We can press Y for now, and there it goes. So it is actually listening on port 88,000, and we open the 88,000. It says hello world. All good. So we can run this in this way as well. Deno run, then allow net index.ts. It won't be asking this thing right now, right? Because we have provided the flag here. Okay. So that is basically the simplest of programs that you can write in Deno. Just 2 lines, right? Awesome. If you are coming from Express Node.js background, still there are some backend languages in Node.js which will almost do the same, but this is also cool. And I am actually a fan of TypeScript support, because I've been working in dynamic languages for a long time. So once we get the taste of a type language, then people like me would like to go to a type language. Anyway, so it actually Deno actually gives us the choice of choosing the JavaScript or TypeScript. So I think it is very good. So what are the other things about Deno? Other important things about Deno. So I think the main thing is it has got a standard runtime, which will cover, I think, very basic things about, that we should be able to do, like things like reading file and things like networking, everything. And it also has a standard modules. Standard modules, when we say standard modules, it will be actually curated and audited by the Deno maintainers. So another thing is Deno has third-party modules. It can import basically from any location in the web. It just gotta be a URL. Okay, we can do it from GitHub, any personal web server, CDN. Okay, or And other important thing is Deno has a documentation tool that Deno uses, and any third-party libraries that we are going to develop can also use the same. So other thing is about the built-in development tools for Deno. Deno has a formatter. If you see here, Deno help, you'll see that it has an FMT. That means format the files. It has got dependency inspector and benchmarker and bundler. There is one bundler, linter, REPL. There's a task runner. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'll do that in the coming videos. So basically that is that, and I hope this was a good introduction for Deno. In the coming tutorials, let's dive more deep into Deno and do some cool things with Deno. So please, if you consider this video useful for yourself or anyone, please consider subscribing this and liking the video, or give me some feedback that I can improve. Thank you.